Qingbin. I'm a professor at Virginia Tech, part of the sort of the leadership team of the Build America Center, and we've organized and put on this Modernizing Infrastructure webinar series for a little over a year now. And today we're fortunate to have our colleague QC from the University of Maryland, who is the director of the Build America Center. And QC is going to share his thoughts about how academics can leverage the IIJA, so sometimes also called the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, to their advantage. So I'm going to let QC take it away. If you have questions, during the webinar, please feel free to put those into the chat. I'll be monitoring that, and I think we've got probably the group has grown quite a bit here. So, but just post those questions in the chat, and then we'll sort of field those as appropriate. So, QC, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mike. Well, it's a great pleasure to meet everyone here. My name's Qingbin, just call me QC. I'm a professor here at University of Maryland. And Mike is leading our Build America Center Modelizing Infrastructure webinar series here. So, I will introduce how Build America Center as a team collaborate with state, local government, and help the federal government to implement the bipartisan infrastructure law. It is a great journey, and also it's a very rewarding experience. But I think that our university and no matter what area that you're working on, can potentially benefit from this great opportunity. And we all know that this bipartisan infrastructure law is once a generation opportunity to build Americans, modernize Americans' infrastructure there. So definitely we want this opportunity to be available and also accessible to all potential researchers. And we do see that it's not only a good opportunity for consulting business, construction companies to build our infrastructure, but it's also a great opportunity for researchers to participate in this historical investment in infrastructure there. So before I start, I probably would ask Cassie to do a quick survey and see your background, and then we can discuss how Build America Center actually working on all this exciting efforts there. So. Probably we'll give a audience another 20 seconds, and then we switch it to the second question there. So it seems like majority of the attendees today are from a university or researchers there, and we do have people from a government side, and also quarter percent, quarter of the population, the attendees are actually from the private sector there. So it's a great mix actually, and we will primarily focus on the topic today would be primarily focusing on the university related opportunity and also strategy, but that can also bring will also bring some value to public agencies and also the private entity if you are working on the bipartisan infrastructure law project or grants there. So Cassie, can you switch to the second question there? And we want to also see what is your experience in terms of the bipartisan infrastructure law grant application or implementation there? Okay, another 10 seconds. We'll close the poll. Okay, we close the poll, and it's great. So pretty much like we understand the large number of university professors, researchers haven't been actively participating in the bipartisan infrastructure law grants application or implementation there. So, and that's pretty much the reason that we want to offer our opinions and also our experience, and hopefully that that experience can bring at least some idea that for a university researchers to take this opportunity there, take advantage of this opportunity. And I know that some of the audience actually have extensive experience already. This is not just a one-way lecture. It's more like a conversation. So if you could share your experience and also help the audience to get a better understanding of the opportunity and the strategy, and please also help me to share your experience, your insights there. Okay, so that's all for quick survey on the current experience there. And let me start with the quick introduction about Build America Center. And because people will ask, what is our experience and why we can share this kind of opinions or experience with the other university researchers there. So Build America Center actually is the USDOT funded research institute, and primarily focus on the innovative financing project delivery. That's the reason that we bring expert from Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Purdue, and Stanford University, and we collaborate closely with the Federal Highway Administration, Build America Bureau, and conduct research and provide technical assistance training workshop to state and local official so that they can improve their capacity and deliver their project more efficiently there. So Build America Center is not only just the university efforts. It's a partnership between public, federal government and university, and also it's a partnership among nonprofit organizations and even state, local government with university here. So over the past 2 years, and since we established the center in early 2022, and we were tasked by the USDOT to provide technical assistance, especially targeting the local community, counties, cities, who has very limited resources and experience to applying for federal grants. And then we spend the time, so we started that efforts, I would say, late 2022. And over the past a year and a half, we have been working closely with more than 35 state or county city governments and help them to applying for federal grants under the bipartisan infrastructure law. We also developed the tools like the Bill Launchpad, which help the local government understand the the funding opportunity. We help them to really develop the application package, help them also conduct the data-driven analysis, and build a winning team. In addition to many of the other research efforts there. And this is a collaborative effort, and our partner universities participate in almost every aspect of those efforts. And because our Build America Center is funded by the US DOT, so when we are supporting local government, all our grant application service actually free. So there's nothing for local government to lose when they're using our service. And on the other hand, we bring some innovation, and I will really introduce that in a minute. And this is a way that we can bring innovation. We can really conduct practice-oriented research and bring those interesting projects to the classroom, and also benefit our students and through the service to local government there. So we have been helping local government secure more than 12 grants, and total, more than 75. So right now, so even close to 100 million there for local government. And of course, when the local government need a service to help them to implement those grants, we will be also available to support them. But that's typically would be through a public procurement process. But I will talk about how do we you as a university researcher, how you can really basically replicate our practice and potentially bring research fundings to your university and help your student to understand the innovative way to deliver infrastructure project under the bipartisan infrastructure law. I just want to also mention this tool that we developed, Bill Launchpad, which you can definitely use that and identify funding opportunity. And also one of the valuable contribution from this Bill Launchpad tool is actually the documentation of successful awards. And you know that the successful application package typically is not available. So we have already collected more than 200 successful application package covering many bipartisan infrastructure law programs there. So you can learn how other local government develop their winning grant application, and take a look at the requirements there, and basically help the local government to improve their grant application practice there. Definitely, the Bill Launchpad right now it become a tool, has been widely used by public and the private entities when they are looking for grant opportunities there. So we also have other type of technical assistant under the requirements from the Federal Highway and also Build America Bureau there. So we develop some short videos, help the local government and even also consulting business without bill experience there to develop a better strategy for their grant application. We also interview more than 15 local officials with successful bill grants, and we highlight their project and also basically requested them to share their successful experience, how they make a successful grant application there. So those short videos are available on YouTube, and you can take a look at those short video and learn from successful applications from local government there. And the webinars, another way that we're trying to really disseminate information and experience. So we hope that more local government and more researchers across the country can actually benefit from our service. Even we're supporting small number of local government there, but how we can really disseminate the experience and the information and the knowledge, so more local government officials and researchers can benefit.
He says to them, sisters, welcome to heaven.
Yeah, if you have any questions there, just you can either raise your hands, and Cassie would be monitoring that, and we can answer your questions once we finish the short presentation here. So number one here is that I know that large number of the audience here right now are from the university. So as a researchers, I personally know that typically that we pursue grants and the research contract from those funding agencies, especially of course the federal government and the National Science Foundation and the foundations are there. So the bipartisan infrastructure law, it's a historical investment in Americans' infrastructure there. And many times that we all know that the construction company, consulting engineering firms, and public entities benefit from this kind of investment there. On the other hand, actually, university researchers can also benefit from this investment. So overall, there is a large amount of federal grants available to local government and also entities, including research institute and nonprofit organization there. And I want to also especially mention here is that the bipartisan infrastructure law and also the Inflation Reduction Act provides a total roughly almost $2 trillion over 5 years. And within that, of course, there's more than half of those investments are not infrastructure related, not the physical traditional infrastructure that we talk about, not transportation, not the building facility related. There are others like a social infrastructure, or maybe some other healthcare related issues there. But still, there is a large number of federal fundings available for infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, energy infrastructure, water infrastructure, those kinds of traditional infrastructure that we focus on, especially right now. And even just within the U.S. Department of Transportation, close to $570 billion, which is the funding available for building or modernizing Americans' infrastructure. Especially, I want to mention here that the bipartisan infrastructure law is very different from the the federal law in the past. This is the first time that Congress actually made the funding available directly to local government. And I always joke with other people. I mean, just like your homeowner association, and probably can apply for some federal grants to build the pedestrian trails or build some infrastructure locally. And so this is the first time, and there are more than $190 billion just from the U.S. Department of Transportation that make those discretionary grants. And of course, state and the county, city, and local community, township, those kind of local community can actually apply federal grants directly. And old model follow that local government applying for grant from the state. Basically, state gets the funding from the federal government. This is the first time that a local government can directly apply for large amount of federal grants and built the infrastructure at local level, And you can see that the project can cover highway, bridges, public transportation, rails, and the airport, broadband, waters, electrical vehicle charging stations, many other resilience-related also. Under the IRA, of course, there's a large number of infrastructure funding from the renewable energy side. And so today, especially, we will be focusing on transportation, just because our Build America Center is primarily funded by the Federal Highway Administration. So we focus more on the transportation side. But we do provide the technical assistance to local government when they want to applying for grants from the Energy Department, EPA, or FEMA, and other federal agency, because we are trying to really help the local public agency, as much as possible, and also to meet their infrastructure needs there. So, how can a university benefit from this large, historical infrastructure investment here? And many times that people would say that it's more like a physical project that we are building. Actually, for all those physical projects, and we are able to, I think, for any university professor, and you could really participate and receive grants from those programs there. So there are programs that definitely the university are considered as eligible applicants for those grants. For example, workforce training related. Even many of the program actually specify that university as the university will be encouraged to apply, and even some of the program, universities are not considered eligible applicants, but university professors, researchers can partner with the local government and help them to applying for the grants and bring innovation, bring expertise to help the planning, development, and even the implementation of those infrastructure projects there. There are also opportunities that university can participate in, direct support for federal government to really, managing those programs there. And remember, many of those programs are brand new, and there are no such kind of standard of procedure, no performance evaluation criteria available. There's no management, the policies even that are available. And also after 5 years that, almost every program need to really report how well, and does this historical investment actually bring value to the society or not. So there's potentially that university can definitely contribute significantly on individual program by either working directly with the federal government and or maybe conduct the evaluations and to really help the federal government to improve the performance of those programs there. And also there's a so many projects will be delivered under this bipartisan infrastructure law. So this investment, this kind of efforts would create tremendous opportunity for new data, new case study, and even help us to really improve, or I would say redefine many of the topics or knowledge or the tools or procedures that we take those for granted when we are college student. There are significant areas that bring new research direction, new research topic that we can focus on. So this is basically us basically the dashboard for the discretionary grant under the U.S. Department of Transportation. So you can see that we are halfway of the 5 years of bipartisan infrastructure law implementation there. So I think the White House just reported and the other news media report currently only 40% of those federal grants has been awarded, and more than 55,000 project has been funded. But you can see that over the next 2 years or 3, and there are still large number of the federal fundings available, and you can researchers can actually help and support those projects there. So basically, people would ask, since I'm also a researcher, I'm a professor here, and am I doing a consulting work and competing with the consulting business or not? So that's one thing here that I think it would be very critical that we want to really clarify. And definitely, we are not really doing the consulting work, and maybe some elements that is very similar to the consulting business there. But on the other hand, we are all focused on, how do we really bring the innovation? How do we really, document the practice and develop the knowledge and develop the, training materials or educational package so that we can really build our next generation workforce there. So that's one thing here is that, I mean, some of the, the efforts when we're developing grant applications for local government there, it seems like, consulting companies are doing that too. And of course, and you might be already aware, and many consulting companies actually haven't really spent the tremendous efforts to help the local government there, because they don't see this is a profitable business. Especially they would rather focus more on the grant implementation, because that's the money coming from. So and even you are developing the grant application, and then the grant application actually also some of the grant application developed by the state DOT or consulting business there, and are we able to actually compete with those consulting businesses given the application that we developed with the local government there. So this is the one thing here that at the beginning, we were also asking ourselves, can we actually compete with the consulting business if we develop the grant application? We're not, many times we don't really develop the full application package for the local government. It's more like a partnership. We help them to identify their infrastructure needs and conduct a data-driven analysis there. On the other hand, once we are, local government many times has a limited resources. And when you talk to the local government, you would be shocked, probably, that even the local government, they might have the infrastructure needs there, and they either have no idea about the availability of the federal grants to support their infrastructure project, or they do not have the resources, or they do not have the capability to actually develop those grant applications. So even it's a great idea when the Congress pass the legislation and offer those fundings to local government there. On the other hand, it's also very challenging for local government to allocate the resources to develop a grant application. If you don't really apply, you're not able to get any federal grants, because that's how the discretionary grants program works. So can we really compete if we help the local government there? And I would really applaud for the US DOT, especially officials when they develop those funding opportunity documents there. So they list very clearly, what are the required elements and what are the evaluation criteria. So I told my team when we just started this effort at the beginning, we're teachers, and we know that how we can grade students' assignment given the rubricus there. So US DOT officials made those funding opportunity very clear on evaluation criteria and even detail the rubricus there. So we just need to really follow the rubricus and develop the application package. And then, all the evaluators, reviewers are, people's with similar expertise there. So our evaluation should really, align very well with theirs evaluation if we follow the rubricus, the evaluation criteria here. So, which means that we still, I think, can develop the good, project application package, and definitely that we can incorporate innovation. And I will give you a few examples how we basically bring the innovation to the grant application. And also, many of those areas in the bill programs that require, let's say, climate analysis and equity analysis, those are not typical business practice, even for the consulting companies when they're doing their typical project there. So that's new things. And we are actually very good at learning new topic, new knowledge. So that's the reason that even we have our teams primarily from the university side, and we can still develop and also incorporate the best strategy into those grant applications there. So how can we really benefit my students? In fact, there are great opportunity that you can bring and incorporate all those kind of grant application and even the project into your classroom. I just give you, one example, and many of you probably teach engineering economics there, all senior design course there. And you can really structure the course content and ask the student really to evaluate a grant application from the local public agency. I mean, there is applications there, and successful, unsuccessful. We do collect some unsuccessful grant application, and you can ask the student to really follow the US DOT benefit cost analysis guideline and conduct the benefit cost analysis compliance review and deliver their report. And so that's the practice-oriented assignment, and they learn. Once you have that, and then you can also encourage the student to really incorporate all this into their senior design there. Many of the topic, developing, for example, developing the EV charging station on campus there, solar panel project, or even a bikeway project, or pedestrian trail project. So those kind of projects definitely fall into many of the bill program there. And it's very easy to incorporate those requirements into your senior design course, and also bring the student to the real life problem, and also ask them to really follow the US DOT guidelines there. So that's area that definitely you can incorporate and incorporate the efforts and benefit your student in the classroom there. Is there any questions from the audience? Cassie, do you know whether we have a question there? Or
Sorry, QC. I was distracted. What did you say?
Okay, is there any question from the audience?
At the
Um,
moment, no.
could you share how BAC collects so many application materials and especially make them public?
Yeah, so we collected those grant application from actually just a Google search. It took time for us, but basically I assigned those tasks to my student, and so they collect those application package there, and they conducted compliance review following the US DOT guidelines there. So that's one that we are able to collect, several hundred. And in addition to that, every time when we document some successful awards, and then we start to really, do the Google search. And those documents actually are public available within the Bill Launchpad tool. So the only thing here is that you probably need to register so that you can see all the documents there. We do have also probably I would say more than 100 unsuccessful grant applications that local public agency published online. And we did not really publish those unsuccessful, but we basically can use those unsuccessful grant application package for data analysis there. Yeah, but so billlaunchpad.com, and you are able to get access their grant application package from the narrative to outcome evaluation to benefit cost analysis, a spreadsheet, and also report, letter of support, and you can see that how they built the partnership by reviewing their letter of support. And many times that grant application package include large number of the design documents there, and they probably have the link that also offer the project documents online there. So we collect those documents and built our database and make the database public accessible there. So okay, so this is basically one. So I probably would just give you a very quick example on how we bring innovation and why this kind of effort is not only a consulting task, is more research oriented. So we help the Maryland Clean Energy Center to win the EV charging station grant, CFI charging filling infrastructure grant, and then this is the EV charging station. So there is a tremendous research topic when we worked with the agency during the process of a grant application. We noticed that even the revenue projection on this EV charging station would be very challenging there. And even many people feel like the estimate is way too low. Then also the ownership, how the ownership of this, and then where should we select the site, the sitting decisions there, and those are all the interesting questions that need to be considered. One of the critical elements that we incorporated the research into this grant application is how do we really meet the market demand, the charging demand, and simultaneously complying with the Justice 40 requirements. And President Biden has the executive order, which basically require the 40% of investment or 40% of the benefit of the project benefit the disadvantaged community there. So CFI program fall into Justice 40 categories there. So how do we really benefit this? So we bring the innovation. Can we really use some innovative financing mechanism? So we bring this crowdfunding concept and never been discussed before. And then the local agency very welcome our idea and also innovation. So they incorporated this into the grant application. And we will basically collect the data so that we can conduct more analysis and study based on the actual collaboration with Maryland Clean Energy Center there. Some others, for state of Louisiana there. So they have a big need to really offer public transportation for the rural area. And you can see that the rural area, big challenge would be the funding from to offer this flexible public transportation service there. So we work together and help them to define the problem there, and then build on the BAC and also Maryland Transportation Institute research. And so we basically incorporate the emissions and also equity into the public transportation service here. So we have the app, instant trip app, so that we can actually document the emission reduction and also the equity improvement from using this kind of flexible transit service, and potentially provide fundings for those micro transit service there. And how do we really bring this and make a plan? And that's basically, there are some system development there. There are some theoretical discussion and also advancement to make that happen. So others, like we work with North Central Regional Planning Commissions in Kansas there. So help them to really use the technology to do the bridge inspection there. So there are other technology-oriented efforts that we can do. Overall, in fact, we basically follow a process here is that the grant application, technical assistant, and also collaboration with the local government is not only doesn't really stop with just the grant application. It's more like a partnership, and also that we work with the local government, and then we basically help them to build a successful story here, and we have some new knowledge generated from this kind of practice there. So a lot of innovative approach that we see that we can actually bring to the local governments there. Of course, people might also ask, especially when you have no experience in bipartisan infrastructure law a project or grant application yet. So how can I start? And of course, and based on our experience, and in beginning of the periods that when we start our efforts, I personally and also our partners all make a cold calls to local government, and there's nothing they would lose from this service. So we collaborate with a few local agencies, and remember many times the local government, they do have the infrastructure need, but they do not really have the funding even to hire a consulting company to do the grant application development. They do not really have the resources available to take a risk, because overall, many of the bill programs has roughly less than 20% winning ratios there. So you are not going to risk your time and efforts to compete with large cities or large counties, especially for those small communities there. And we start with those small local community and help them to identify their infrastructure need, help them to really conduct the data analysis, help them to really develop the grant application. And once they win the grant and they see the value from your service, then you can continue this kind of service here. And of course, you can also start from your university. And University of Maryland, we identified that we're still using those diesel buses on campus there. There's a opportunity that we can and applying for federal grants and replace more than 38 diesel buses with electrical buses. So we talked to our university DOT and then convinced them that this is opportunity. So fortunately, that they were excited about the opportunity. We would collaborate together, help them to win. And many others, Safety Street, there's all kind of program your university, your local city, local community can benefit from. So start from there. Start from those disadvantaged community who has very limited resources, and they do really see the value of the bipartisan infrastructure law there, and identify those rural area, tribal community. They are most of the times that are disadvantaged and underserved, and they do really need to have the investment to help them improve their infrastructure there. So you can really start from there, and also partner with your state DOT, NPO, and when you see that you can contribute to many of those efforts there. And second here is that match your experience with the program. Sometimes even you don't have those strong experience or expertise on those areas, but if you have the interest in those fields, I would also encourage you to really expand and expand your research area so that it's a very rewarding process and a rewarding efforts. And many of my students, and they were just excited when they could see that their efforts helped local community. So I would say that don't be limited by your own comfort zone, and you can go beyond. If you're interested in the safety side, and you can go for that. So there's many programs right now with the open funding opportunity. So you can really start that. If you're working on the, let's say, sustainability, resilience side, there are programs right now. It's called the low carbon transportation materials, and you can work with the state DOT. You can also work with the local community, local government, and help them to really apply. So this is the big program, and the local SCTM program would really open another funding opportunity for local government. There are roughly $800 million available for local government to really incorporate the low carbon materials into their project. So you can actually help them to really conduct the emission analysis, data-driven benchmarking for emissions from the construction materials there. If you're working on the electrical vehicle side, there's currently open grant opportunity for charging filling infrastructure. Help the local government to build hydrogen or electrical vehicle charging station. There's many areas that you can bring innovation where you build the charging station. How do you really incorporate others existing facilities? So there are new areas like leverage the existing street light pole, or maybe some others to build electrical vehicle charging station. And also, tremendous areas that you can bring innovation on that. Protect will be, Protect program will issue the new funding opportunity, probably I would say in a month or so, which is basically resilience related. So flooding on the roadways, and how do you really reduce improve the resilience for your transportation and infrastructure there. And that's the area that you can work with the local government and to compete for those grants. If you are working on the workforce development, you're working on the social equity aspect, you probably know that currently you have this TET, DDP, and this transportation education training development program. That is, they have the funding opportunity so that you can actually develop some training programs for education purpose there, training education purpose. If you, the reconnecting community program, and that's actually focused on those infrastructure, the infrastructure consider like a burdening infrastructure that divided the community, or bring disbenefit to the community. How do we really, define those burdening facilities? How do we really expand our knowledge boundaries to cover the social dimensions of the infrastructure, or basically, the equity aspect of the infrastructure? And that's the program that you need to work with the local government and to really applying for those grants opportunity. If you're on the technology side, there's a SMART program ongoing right now. The due date would be end of the July, and that define 7 technology areas that you can incorporate into the transportation project, from the drone to ITS, connected vehicle, and the sensorings, and many aspects. So that you can really, apply many of the new technology to transportation field. Another program is, ADCMS, advanced digital construction management system there, and definitely you also need to really work with the state. If you are working with the county cities there, and the applications still need to really be applied from the state. So it's ongoing right now, and it's basically all digitization in construction. How you can really incorporate that into the construction or the transportation project there. So significant, large number of the program would be also open. And you just need to really be prepare yourself and target and build a partnership with local government, with nonprofit organizations, so that you can actually collaborate and help them for grant application, and then you can also be part of sub-recipient of those grants, and conduct your practice-oriented research there. I know that many times that you still have all kinds of questions there. So that's the reason that here at the Build America Center, because we have been working closely with the local government, and we receive many calls from local governments. Unfortunately, even with other, 4, overall 5 universities that we are helping local government, but still it's not possible for us to really meet all those demands. So that's the reason that we are building this kind of partnership. We call it UMAC, University-led Modernizing Infrastructure Coalitions here, so that we want partner with you, including university and also public and private entities there. If you're public officials there, you would like to have some technical assistance from the Build America Center, we definitely want to help you whenever we see that there's a need from local community. We want to really be there and with you, because it's not only good for you, but it's also a rewarding efforts from our side. So we want to really partner with a university close to your agency, so that we can support the university. And that's the reason that we hope that more other universities can join this journey and work with us. And we're not charging any fee, because we feel like this is the best thing that we can apply our knowledge to help the local community. We're not charging any fee, even for any university working with us. We're not really demanding any kind of return, even you win the grant. But on the other hand, we do want to really, have a commitment that you like to really partner with us, and then we can work together. And you will be, receiving direct technical assistance, through Build America Center here. And also you will be also receiving some kind of a customized funding opportunity, so that you can prepare your plan ahead and make sure that you can work with the local government there. And frequently we receive some requests from the local government, so that we can connect the local government with our university members, so that we can all work together, build a strong partnership together there. So if your local official is there, so reach out and ask or send the request so that we can help you directly. And so there's basically a link. If you are interested into work with us, definitely send a request, so that we will be working together and collaborating together and build a better American infrastructure there. So that's a very quick introduction about our practice and how we can support you, no matter if you're from other university, or public agency, or even private company. And we are here to support you. We are here to collaborate with you with a goal to build a better infrastructure there. So scan this QR code and send your information, so that we will be reaching out, and we will be identify the opportunity to collaborate together. Okay, so any questions? I think that this is a Zoom meeting, and you're welcome to really just unmute yourself and just speak out if you have a question there.
So QC, there was one question focused that was posted in the chat about anything that you might be able to share about opportunities and let's say transportation sectors like water, as an example.
Yeah, so over the past year and a half, we primarily focus on the transportation, and that's basically how we are funded. However, the Build America Center is the University of Maryland Institute. So we are engaging my colleagues from the water side, from the energy side, so that we can really expand this kind of expertise to other areas. So water side, actually, I can give you one example that we helped Harvard County in Maryland. And so they identify, I would say, the infrastructure need, six of them, the infrastructure needs that they targeted. There are 2 or 3, I think, with really, flooding, water infrastructure related, actually. So that was the reason that we expand our boundaries to review the Corps of Engineer programs there, and the EPA program, and help them to really identify the funding opportunity. And we haven't helped them to develop the grant application on water infrastructure yet, but that's the direction that we will engage more colleagues. And if you're interested in that direction, definitely participate in the conversation, so that we can collaborate together. It's also a learning experience for us if we're expanding to other infrastructure projects. Okay. So if there's no more question there, so you can scan the QR code and shoot us basically complete that survey, so that we'll be reaching out and identify the collaboration opportunity together. And thank you all very much for participating in this webinar, and I hope that you will be able to see the opportunity and join us in this journey there.